Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. We have discussed interpreting section in the previous lecture. Today we are going to talk about the extending portion in exercise. I have already mentioned that in recalling section, most of the questions that can be answered easily directly from the text. I can tell you from line number this or from sentence this on page that. You can copy this answer from this portion to that. But that again kills your creativity, right? That is why most of us, when it is time for us to express our genuine thoughts or something that I believe or something that I feel and I want to express them, we are absent choice. We don't have enough words, we don't have synonyms, we don't have vocabulary for that. And the basic reason is because we are tackling this subject as other subjects, maybe pure sciences, which is a wrong approach towards English language. Specifically, it's a language and it should be dealt with as a language. So this portion, it demands, I believe, less creativity comparatively to interpreting. And then of course extending is a portion where you can have more more stuff from your own self, where you can express your thoughts, where you can genuinely talk about a certain phenomena. So look at the extending portion. It is on page 176. Question 15. What is solar energy? That is the first part. Can it be a suitable substitute for fuel and coal energy? That is the second part. So you are going to answer this question in a way that you are going to define what is solar energy. Remember, the definition of solar energy is not given in the text. You are going to define it from your own. This is what we call extending, right? So you are going to define solar energy. That by solar energy we means to say that when we transform this solar energy into electricity or in another shape or in another form of energy and that we use in our daily life, that is what we call solar energy. So the way to transform solar energy into electricity, what we do, we use solar panels for that. When when sun rays fall on those cells, on those solar panels, they convert this solar or light energy into electricity, into positive and negative electrons or ions or whatsoever. That is what we call solar energy. Or in short, when we take energy from the sun, this is what we call solar energy. Look at the second part of the question. Can it be a suitable substitute for fuel and coal energy? Yes, it can be a suitable substitute for fuel and coal energy because it has the power to do the same amount of work, to do the same things that can be done by fuel and coal energy. But the problem with fuel and coal energy is that when we produce electricity with the help of fuel and coal, we produce a lot of carbon dioxide. Again, which is hurting our environment. We are producing more carbon dioxide. It is, damaging the ozone layer. The concentration of CO2 is increasing day by day, which causes global warming. Look at Pakistan; it is suffering already from global warming. So yes, it can be a substitute. How? By focusing on solar energy. First of all, the government, they should focus on solar energy. They should subsidize this industry. They should give subsidy on that. They should encourage the masses or the people to go for solar energy because it is clean, neat, and it does not need that much of tending as we need for coal and solar energy. For coal and fuel energy. Next thing is there can be wind energy. We can produce electricity from wind. We can produce electricity, of course, from dams, which means hydroelectricity, from water. And there is also atomic energy, which is extremely cheaper, but to build a nuclear reactor is one hell of a job, which is extremely difficult. But when you build that, it is quite easy and it can easily cover up your load shedding issues. It can end that problem, the shortfall issues which we have already in our country. So these are the possible ways through which we can substitute solar energy by the other forms of energy. I hope that is the answer for the question, and I hope you understood that. I'm going to discuss the last question of this portion, question 16. Atomic energy is a big source of energy. How can it be used for peaceful purposes? No doubt, atomic energy is a huge source of energy, and we have been using it. Man is using it for notorious things. Look what we did with this atomic energy in Hiroshima and in Nagasaki, right? We destroyed humanity with those bombs, with those powerful energy. The same energy, this atomic energy, it can be used for the benefit of humanity. How? By producing electricity from the same uranium, from the same atomic energy. So what we need nuclear reactors. We need nuclear reactors to be built, and then in those nuclear reactors, we can use this atomic energy for the production of electricity, which is again quite cheaper. With a very small amount of uranium, you can produce, a huge amount of electricity. So atomic energy is one of the most reliable sources of energy, and if we encourage our governments, if we somehow suggest these people or our scientists to go for atomic energy, and some countries around the world, they are also deploying this technique. They are also using atomic energy to produce electricity, and they are doing well with that. So these are basically the possible answers to these two questions, which we are here and we have discussed in the extending section. That was all about the first reading selection, Technology and Society of the Future. We have discussed its text. I have talked about recording section, and then interpreting and extending. I have discussed questions from question 1 to 16. I hope you have understood that. If you have any queries and issues, kindly comment below and I will answer them later on. Thank you very much.